Today, Africa 54 begins a four-part series on the crackdown on terrorism financing. A new U.S. law has been enacted to protect and preserve international cultural property, and the U.S. is putting systems in place to coordinate a global effort to stop the illicit actors. VOA's Caroline Turner has more.
The recent destruction by ISIS of the first-century ruins at the UNESCO World Heritage Site in Palmyra, Syria, shocked the world. In Tunisia last year, ISIS took credit for the attack on the Bardo National Museum in Tunis. 21 people were killed and over 50 were injured. In Mali in 2012, the fabled city of Timbuktu was overrun by 1,000 Islamic fighters, forcing local residents to hide underground to shelter historic Arabic manuscripts from destruction. ISIS declared war on the U.S., has captured the attention of Congress, and they are investigating their source of funds. Annual revenues from the plunder and sale of priceless antiquities are estimated to be between $1 to $200 million. Congress held a hearing recently to investigate terrorism financing and to learn how ISIS gets its money. Robert Etzel is the author of the book Monuments Men, which was made into a movie about the effort to save cultural artifacts from Nazi destruction during World War II.
Evidence that ISIS has sanctioned the looting and sale of antiquities to generate revenue for terrorism is a game changer. It compels us to think about the ownership of art, the responsibility of the art trade and collectors, and the role of the federal government differently than ever before. The Monuments Men saw firsthand that the destruction of cherished artistic and religious treasures is the starter gun that precedes genocide and the human suffering that follows. It proved true in Nazi Germany, in Bosnia-Herzegovina, in al-Qaeda-controlled areas of Afghanistan and Mali, and now in ISIS-administered portions of Syria and Iraq.
Representative Ed Royce agrees that ISIS is a serious menace to protecting antiquities.
And we also were in North Africa, in Tunisia, and we saw the results of the attack there on the museum in Tunisia. This is ISIS now in Libya that comes over the border and carries out attacks specifically against museums and, of course, in Libya also they're destroying these cultural artifacts that date back to the Carthaginian period or Roman and Hellenic periods.
Congressman Royce went on to suggest legislation similar to that authored on blood diamonds, and he is not alone in that theory.
I think there are some parallels. For the first part of your question, it's a unique strategic resource, right? I mean, if you look at ISIL's, all of the revenue that they get, much of what they've gotten early on was from taking over territory and dispossessing the people that they took over. But antiquities provides this opportunity for them to consistently continue to get new resources.
Fanusi explained that historically unemployed locals excavate and sell antiquities to earn income. The challenge is in documentation, tracking, and questionable ownership.
ISIS has access to roughly 5,000 archaeological sites and probably has earned several millions of dollars from antiquities trafficking. And some of the looting appears to be conducted by local populations who sell amid an economically devastated environment where ISIS already taxes and confiscates other earnings and possessions. The importance of this trade for ISIS lies not just in the funding, but in the market's strategic and operational benefits.
Fanusi urges Congress to make this a national security priority. Caroline Turner, VOA News, Washington.